In our lesson today, we will be looking at a non-African poem, The Journey of the Magi by T.S. Eliot. In our previous videos, we have looked at the song of the woman of my land. I know why the song flung up to heaven, and several other African and non-African poems. So if you have not watched or listened to them, you check the channel, you will get them from the channel and watch. So today we will be looking at The Journey of the Magi by T.S. Eliot. The poem is divided into 3 stanzas, unequal stanzas. The stanza 1 is about 20 lines. The stanza 2, I think, is about 11 lines. Then the stanza 3 is shorter. And also the poem do not have any structured rhyming scheme. So it does not have a rhyming scheme. It's, the poem of 3 stanza is called triplet. So let's look at the first stanza and see how it is structured. And this is stanza 1 of the poem. Let's start from line 1. A cold coming, we heard of it, just the worst time of the year for a journey, and such a long journey. Now the persona is talking about the environmental situation at the time when they were planning to embark on the journey. It was a time of cold, and then the time is a time of winter. There were a lot of snow, and it is not favorable for a long journey at that time, especially a journey through horse, a journey where they use horse to travel for a very long time. And in the poem, you can see, as we move on, you will see that they spent more than a day on the road before they get to their destination. So look at look at line 4. The way is deep and the weather sharp, the very dead of winter. You can see this is also the description of the environment. And the camels go soft-footed, refractory, and lying down in the melting snow. You can see the situation of even the camels that they used to travel. They go, and they were lying down on the melting snow. No, it is a very hard journey for both the persona and even the camels. So there were times we regretted the summer places on slope, the terrace, and the sinking years bringing harvest. So they got to a point where they regretted embarking on the journey, not because of tiredness, but because of the environment, the snow, the cold, and they were going without any shelter. So it was a journey that the persona later regretted it. Then the camel men cursing and grumbling. You see, the people embarking on the journey are riding the camel and are not grumbling. They are grumbling about the journey. They are grumbling why they should embark on such journey at such time of the year, and running away and wanting their liquor and women. No, at a time when there is a severe cold, one of the way to fight the cold is taking alcoholic drink. So the camel men now are looking for their liquor, and at the same time they are women to warm their body. And the night fires goes out, and the lack of shelter. You can see the situation of the people here. They do not have a shelter, and even the light that warmed them is now gone. The night fire going out. So they were left with no choice than to suffer the cold, the severity of the snow. And look at the next line. And the city is hostile, and the towns unfriendly, and the village is dirty and charging high prices. Now, as they were traveling, crossing from villages to villages, the people were not friendly to them. The people were hostile, and at the same time, for anything they requested for or they want to buy, the people will charge very high price. So traveling across cities and villages that are unfriendly, that are dirty, that are so hostile to to strangers, to visitors, that do not want any visitor around their environment. And now they charge them a exorbitant price, even for water, for whatever they ask for. So a hard time we had of it. At the end, we prefer to travel all night, sleeping in snatches, with the voices singing in our ears, saying that is that that this was all folly. Now they decided to travel all night, since there is no shelter and the cities and the villages are unfriendly. So they cannot even lie down on any part of the city or village because their life will be in danger since the people are unfriendly. So they decided to travel all night. And they were hearing voices in their ears telling them that embarking on such journey is an act of foolishness, it's an act of folly. They shouldn't have embarked on a journey like that. So let's look at stanza 2. Now there at dawn, we came down to a temperate valley. Now they travel all night. It is now day, early morning, wet below the snow line, smelling of vegetation, with a running stream and a water mill beating the darkness. Now, the morning was temperate, the weather was good, the snow was not much. All they have is meadow and fresh vegetation, and then a stream which they came across. And I look at the next line, and 3 trees on the low sky, an old white horse gallop away in the middle. Then we came to a tavern with leaves over the lintel, 6 hands at an open door dicing for pieces of silver, and feet kicking the empty wine skins. You know, in that morning, these are the things they saw. They saw a horse galloping, running away in the middle, in the dew. And then they saw people, they saw the vegetation, they saw the tavern, and then look at the next line, but there was no information. And so we continue. And arriving at evening, not a moment too soon. So at the end, they arrive at evening. Even when arriving at evening, see what they find. Finding the place, it was, you might say, satisfactory. So when they got to the destination of where they were going, they were satisfied with the place, and they say it is satisfactory. Now look at the last stanza. All this was a long time ago. I remember, and I will do it again. But set down, set down. This where we let all that way for. Bet or death, there was a bet. Certainly, we had evidence, and no doubt, I have seen birth and death. So now, their journey was to see somebody who was born. When they got to the place, they were satisfied, and they eventually saw the baby they were looking for, and they saw the evidence that truly there was birth. And now the person is also wishing that if he dies at this time, he is okay, because he has seen the birth of whom he was looking for. Oh, this poem is a poem that revolves around the birth of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the figure of Christianity, the man who died for the sins of the world, and he died for everyone. So the journey of the Magi is linked to, is a reference, an allusion to the journey of people they call the wise men in the Bible, who would follow the stars, and they went to the birthplace of Jesus Christ, and they gave him gift of frankincense and 2 other gifts. So he was born in a manger, and then you can see that even in this poem, we saw that the place where the birth occurred, the persona called it satisfactory. So the poem revolve around the birth of Jesus Christ and the story of the wise men that visited him in Bethlehem of Judea. So, as I told you, okay, see the continuation of the last stanza, but hard thought they were different. This birth was hard and bitter agony for us. Like death, our death, we return to our places. This kingdom, but no longer at ease here in the old dispensation with an alien people clutching their gods. I should be glad of another death. Now the persona is satisfied for seeing the birth of Jesus Christ, and then if he dies today, he will be glad of that death. So they have returned back to their kingdom, to the place where they journey from. So you can see the experiences, the harsh experiences, and what they pass through from the beginning of their journey through that snowy environment, snowy day, throughout the night and another day. So the journey took about 48 hours for them to move from their country home to the place where the birth occurred, and they saw it, and they were glad that even if they die today, they have seen the birth of the one promised, the promised one. So, as I told you before, the poem is divided into 3 stanzas. We have the first stanza, which is about 20 lines, and the second stanza, which is about 11 lines, and then the third stanza, which is about 12 lines. So the poem do not have any structured rhyme scheme, though we can see some element of rhyming in some of the lines, but it is not structured that it go or cut across all the lines and the stanzas. So the poem, as we saw from the line 1, begins with the speaker listing out all the troubles they have passed through when they were going on the journey, and they saw the child which was born on a manger, and they have the evidence of it. The weather was freezing and there was hardly any food or shelter for them. So anywhere they came to, as we saw in the stanza 1, the people were so unfriendly to them, and the people wishes even hurt them, charging them high price for whatever they want to buy. And you can see that in such journey, they buy things like maybe water or probably firewood to warm their body, and some other things to keep them healthy. So in the second stanza, the men get to where they were going, and then they said it was satisfactory. They were happy that they have seen it, and the true impact of the journey and the meeting comes after the men have returned home. So they are no longer the people they were before the journey, but now they are people who have seen the promised one. So the speaker states that he longs for a second death through which he is able to join God. For seeing what God promised now, he is satisfied and wishes to go to God. So in our next video, we will be discussing the poetic devices used in the poem. We'll be discussing the themes in the poem. You can see that from now you can even infer, you can understand that we'll have the theme of journey, the theme of death, the theme of birth, the theme of joy, the theme of unfriendly environment, and several other themes in the poem. We are going to be looking at them one after another in the subsequent video. And also the poetic devices, we are going to discuss them extensively. The use of metaphor, the use of antithesis, apostrophe, and other poetic devices used in this poem will be discussed extensively. So you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that when the next video is uploaded, you will get notified. Okay, and make sure you check from time to time. Also like us on our Facebook page, English Literature Class. Search for it, like it, and also join the group which is of the same name. So when we meet next, we will be discussing the poetic devices used, and also the themes in the poems. All right, thank you.